Hey there, Internet. I'm back. I decided to give the PS4 another shot because Bloodborne, kind of a disappointment, so I got another new game for it, the new Mortal Kombat. And this franchise actually is one that I love. It's actually the only franchise I have every single game from. I would have them all from Zelda, but those fucking CDI games are incredibly expensive and also very shitty, so it's been really hard to justify buying them. So for now, Mortal Kombat it is. And I'm going to play this new one. Here we go!
Oh look! A sword.
Alright, so let me start off with just the game itself. The graphics in here look great. There's a lot of pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff, but they all look really amazing. Which, I mean, you can't really use that as a selling point at this point. If your game doesn't look amazing on these new next-gen consoles, then you're just doing something wrong. Graphics aren't necessarily important to a game, but at this point they have become an expectation. The other thing I'll say is for like the gameplay and how the story progresses and the controls and how everything feels, this is going to remind you a lot of the last Mortal Kombat game or of Injustice. It's made by the same studio and it has the same kind of progression. When you're in story mode, it jumps from one character to the next, so through the story mode you play every character. So it's kind of nice, it gives you a basic introduction to the game. It kind of gives you a feel for how the different characters play and everything. It doesn't necessarily throw the moveset at you. You probably have to do a tutorial or something for that. But you figure it out. The enemies start easy enough to where you can get into the swing of things before you really start getting your ass kicked. Another thing I'll mention is that if you remember back in the days of like the Super Nintendo and Genesis era with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, there was a large cheat menu of different cheats you could enable that would do different things in the game, one of them being Quick Finish. Quick Finish was where, to do a fatality, instead of having to memorize the whole large command of keys you'd have to hit, you could just hit a single button and that would trigger doing the fatality as long as you were within the proper range. This brought back kind of. You can now do the 1 or 2 button fatalities, but you have to use a little fatality token thing. And this is the part where I have to talk about the thing that everyone on the internet is talking about this game, is that this game actually sucks. Because despite looking good and playing good, the DLC and the microtransactions and the bullshit this game does makes it completely not worth it. Like I said, for the quick finish fatality things, those little tokens, you have to buy them with real money, not in-game money, real actual money. The game will give you a couple as you unlock the crypt, but for the most part, you have to buy them with real money, and even then they run out. So you have to keep doing them. It's a microtransaction. You have to keep doing it over and over. It's just like fucking Farmville. The other thing is, the DLC model on this, first of all, is day one DLC, which is bullshit. The characters that you can download were developed when the game was developed. They were available day one, which means they were ready and could have been put on the disc, but were not. In addition to the DLC pack, there was also a pre-order character, which I understand why companies do this. It's incentive to pre-order, and it gives them a better idea of what's going to sell for how much and how many units they'll sell, and I get that, but it's more bullshit, because while I pre-ordered it and I got Goro as a free character, any of you who didn't pre-order and want to get him, you have to pay real money. And the pricing model in here is ridiculous. The first pack that came out for the Combat Pack, which is 4 characters, 2 of them are unnamed classic characters that they don't put anywhere in the description of the pack. You just have to guess and hope that they're worthwhile characters. And the fact that they're not naming them means no, they're probably not. And the other 2 are Jason Voorhees and Predator. So that's cool. I would love to have those characters. But the DLC pack for those 4 characters is $30. That's almost $8 a character for this game. You have to pay half the price of the game just to add 4 characters into it. After just spending $60 on this fucking thing, I'm not dropping another $30. And in addition to that, there's also the option to buy an extra costume for Sub-Zero. A costume. Just, you take the existing character model and you reskin it. That's it. That's all they did. $4. $4. I think it's 4. Maybe it's 3. But either way, even if it is 3, $3 for a costume on a single character. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. That takes no time to program. That's why they had Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Reptile in the old games. It took no time to do the palette swap on them, because it's just, whoop, new color. That's it. Takes no time. And then, there's even more DLC, because there's the Crypt, which if you're familiar with any of the Mortal Kombat games from like PS2 forward, they've had, you get tokens or coins or whatever in-game when you progress through story mode. You go into the Crypt, and you can use those to open up a Crypt and get a bonus item, whether it's concept art, a new character, a new stage, new music, whatever. Well, here, if you don't want to spend the time actually playing the game, because why would you want to play the game you just bought, you can spend $20, again in real money, not in-game shit, and automatically unlock the whole thing. So it's a pay-to-win scenario. And on top of all this, if you work it all out, you actually pay double the price of the game. No, you pay the price of the game again to get all the DLC bullshit. That's insane. There's no way that pricing model should ever exist for any game ever. Like, this is worse than that Evolve crap that happened, or any of, like, the Ubisoft EA shit. Like, this is just ridiculous. I don't know how anyone over at Netherealm Studios thought this was acceptable, but no way in hell. So, playability, graphics, whatever of the game aside, I could never recommend this to anyone because of this bullshit. So if you are on the fence about whether or not to buy this game, absolutely do not. Go buy any other game instead. This is garbage. No one should play it. And on that bombshell, we end tonight's episode. Oh, one more thing. The very first thing that you play, that you have interaction with the game, is a fucking Quicktime event. What the hell? I thought we were past that. I thought they got so beaten to death by like Prince of Persia and shit that people stopped doing it. Nope, it's back. It's the very first thing you do. You sit through 2 minutes of cutscenes, you go to another cutscene, and it has Quicktime buttons, and then another cutscene, then you play a fight, then 2 more cutscenes. The first 10 minutes of playing this game, you get to fight for about 45 seconds. It's like the fucking Persona game all over again. Just don't buy this. It's shit. Okay, bye.